put together a sheet based on Search Console data on a URL by URL basis. So this basically looks at whether a query matches the URL string or a page name, so we can work out how close that query data is to what you're actually trying to target for a page or for an article. So you can then use this to decide whether a query, if it's way outside of that page but it still makes sense as something that you want to target in terms of that broader topical authority, then that can justify its own article. Or if it is close and maybe it's not mentioned or not mentioned in a way that it should be, then you can use that data to justify content updates on a page by page basis. But yeah, let's take a look. So I've started this off by just taking some data from one of my articles. So really what it's doing is looking at the name of the URL, and then it's matching the queries in Search Console and giving it a numerical value. So typically the higher the number, the closer that is to the query that's being targeted. So what I've done is just a second tab with the raw data. And then what we can do there is just filter. So for example, a low one here with a low score, backlink companies in UK. So something like that. You could argue it might be pretty close to this, but actually I would say that could justify having its own piece of content. Same with something like Link Building Agency UK, that then would suggest it needs its own commercial piece of content, like a category page or a subcategory page. But then as you go lower with these higher scores, so for example, best link building service or outreach based link building services. So these are the types of things that we could start to build FAQs and on-page content around, because of the level of match that it's already got to that query. So it's just a nice way of assigning a value to queries that are already in your Search Console, rather than maybe just using external SEO tool data. It just makes it much easier to sort of categorize your opportunities based on, is this something that needs adding to a page at the moment, or can we justify having a new piece of content based on this data? And if you go to my website, sign up to my newsletter, which you'll find up here, you'll get an email with the sheet, which is a free SEO resources hub. There's quite a few different things in here, and you'll get a link to that sheet at the bottom of the hub.